If I could take one moment from tour and do it again, just as it happened. I think I made fun of a baby at one show. I remember that. Hello, I am Ethan Nestor. I did a tour back in 2021, right, Spencer? And it was called I Have to Do This Show. And I did it with the wonderful people at Real Good Touring. What was the moment on tour that made me go, oh wow, this is real? I think the most surreal moment was doing my hometown show in Portland, Maine. Just seeing my family there and seeing all my friends there. I have like a very specific memory of my childhood best friend, Andrew. We've been best friends since like second grade. Everyone was standing up and applauding, as they often did. But he was clapping and he was just crying. And I had just like have this very vivid memory of looking out into the crowd and just like seeing my best friend just like breaking down in tears. It was a very special night. And funny enough, the only night on the entire tour that wasn't filmed only lives in my mind now. Which part of me is kind of grateful for, you know? What I really didn't expect was liking sleeping on the bus. I loved sleeping on the bus. It was like the best sleep I've ever gotten in my life. You're like in like a little coffin being rocked back and forth. And to some people, they hate that, but it was soothing. And you have the bus noise. The wheels on the bus, they went round and they went round. And there was this beautiful hum on the bus, and then you wake up and you're in a new place, and sometimes you step out of the bunk and you fall down because you're on a hill. But I really loved sleeping on the bus. It was very cozy. It was like having a sleepover every night with a little bit more privacy because you have your little curtain or whatever, and it was great. I loved sleeping on that bus. It was awesome. Yeah, I think it changed everything a little bit, honestly, because since going on tour, in the back of my mind, it's always kind of there now where I'm like, wow, I want to have that experience again, whether I create another show or do something. Being up on stage, playing to a crowd and getting that energy is so addicting. And it was like the highest high that I've ever felt. And it like really puts things into perspective too, because YouTube is such a numbers game and social media is such a numbers game. And it really puts things into perspective where you're doing a show in front of 1,000 people and you see 1,000 people in front of you and you're like, this is so many people. What the fuck? And then translating that to my videos, which get like hundreds of thousands of views, it's like, wow, that really is so crazy that there's that many people out there. What advice would I give to a creator? I think doing a live show is the perfect opportunity to do something wildly different and out of your comfort zones. Anybody who's trying to make a show, you're already going to go and do a live show, and that's probably out of your comfort zone because it's weird for everybody. So you might as well like really push yourself to make something different and make something vulnerable as well. Like, I think the thing that was on the top of my mind the entire time making the show was, okay, yes, I want to make something that I feel proud of, blah, 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 but I also want my audience to have a very specific feeling when they leave, because if you're not being vulnerable, and Real Good Touring helped. I know that I've been joking about Real Good Touring being the best this whole time, but it really was amazing being able to develop the show with everybody here. It was very personal to me, and so I had a lot of trust in everybody here, and it was amazing to be able to have that trust and to be able to, you know, come into the meetings and be like, okay, here's the draft that I have, and show it to everybody and know that we could work on it and polish it. And I didn't ever feel embarrassed about anything coming in. I was never nervous about like, what are people going to think about XYZ thing. It was always me coming in and being like, okay, I know that I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to actually get really good feedback and we're going to work this out and figure out what the best version of this is. Without everybody here, I don't think that I would have had the show that I had, and I truly think that working with everybody here made it so that I could have the best, most polished version. When we went on tour, I felt really confident about where the show was at. Being like, yeah, I think this is ready to go, and I trusted everyone here, and everyone was like, yeah, we're ready to do a tour. And I didn't feel like anyone was lying to me or anything just to get the show going. It was a real, like, trusting, beautiful, wonderful process, and it was people showing up and helping me because they wanted the best version of this show. That was very long-winded and rambly, but real good touring is real good. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was The Green Room with RGT. Big thank you to everyone at Real Good Touring. And God.
What's the difference?
The Most High.
And Spencer. Spencer, do you want to say anything? Here, go ahead. Spencer, you have to. Spencer.
Hi, I'm Brent Lilly.